So the draft and rookie minicamp has now come and gone for the Green Bay Packers, and I have a lot to talk about and break down. I know I definitely have a strong standout title, but in this video I really want to break down not only what we saw in camp and what we saw from guys like Matthew Golden, but I want to talk about the team as a whole and how the Packers stack up to the big dogs of the NFC, because I really think the Packers got a lot better and added key pieces to the team over this offseason. There's just only so many letters allowed in YouTube titles, so I could not write a paragraph for the title to explain what this video was about. But yeah, it was just great to see Matthew Golden in his jersey doing football drills on a football field. It's an exciting time of year for all 32 teams. And real quick before I begin this video, let me know in the comments which rookie not named Matthew Golden you are most excited to watch and follow over these next few months. I'm very curious to hear. Also, before I begin, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. We are on the road to 50,000 subscribers, and with your support, I believe that we can get there super fast. Alrighty, so starting off with what we saw from Matthew Golden, who was of course the first round pick that stole the show with his all gold jacket and the fact that he was selected in Green Bay in front of the home crowd. We saw him working on route concepts and releases against different coverages like press man and off coverage. Again, take what me and everyone else is saying with a big grain of salt. All of this is without pads, and it's really just to get a feel for things, but he was noted for decent footwork and tight hips, but according to some sources, he needs more head swivel at the top of his routes. He was running at about 45 to 50% speed. Another wide receiver we got to see was Savion Williams. He's highlighted as a massive human being with insane versatility and great play speed. Coaches have already been working on his stance and technique. And then in terms of the quarterbacks, we got to see Taylor Ellersma, who is an undrafted free agent that was invited to rookie minicamp. He was seen working with the head coach and the QB coach on technique, but obviously he is unlikely to make the roster due to the established quarterbacks of Jordan Love, Malik Willis, and Sean Clifford. But for right now, he was brought in for developmental purposes and to throw to the new receivers in this rookie minicamp. Alright, moving on, now let's actually get to the real stuff and talk about each individual rookie that the Packers drafted and what we can expect from them this season. So of course we have to start out with Matthew Golden. This honestly, kind of funny enough, was a historic pick because he was selected to end a 23-year first round receiver drought. And I know that drought was of course highlighted over the last 5 years when the Packers just refused to get Aaron Rodgers a weapon. I mean, when they draft Jordan Love, people thought that the front office was crazy. Now obviously in hindsight we see that it worked out, but at the time I thought the front office was crazy. But anyways, Matthew Golden brings elite speed with a 4.29 40-yard dash and reliable hands to Green Bay. He led Texas with 987 yards and 9 touchdowns in 2024, and he really excelled in big games and big moments. In terms of his stats and tendencies, I already mentioned the 987 receiving yards and 9 touchdowns, but he was a deep ball specialist. He's a polished route runner. He has elite speed, excellent hands. He's versatile. He can play both inside and out, and also he does have some kick return potential, so you could see him on special teams every now and then, but he does have some weaknesses. Obviously he has a smaller frame, being 5'11 and 191 pounds. He can struggle against physical press coverage, especially with what he's going to be seeing at the NFL level, so I think he needs to get to around 200 pounds. Obviously that's doable, but his small frame is not going to help his case for breaking out in his rookie season. But overall, I love the fit that Golden brings to this team right away. He's the perfect deep threat replacement for Christian Watson, who was injured last year, and then he's going to enhance Jordan Love's options, and he can fit the Packers' need for a number 1 receiver. Maybe he won't do it right away, but I definitely think he has that ceiling for sure. I mean, he did it at Texas. I don't see any reason why he couldn't do it and step up at the NFL level. Alright, moving on, now let's talk about Anthony Belton, a tackle out of NC State. Here is what Matthew Golden had to say in his interview after getting drafted to Green Bay.
Man, it's been cool, a great experience. Definitely finally, glad to be back in football, just running around and being around guys on the team. I'm excited to play football again, man. Man, it was a great experience, you only get one experience doing this, so, I had to come to the draft. I actually made it my decision last minute. So to be here, for the atmosphere to be crazy and just for me to walk the stage, man, it was a cool experience for me.
Alright, now moving on, let's talk about Anthony Belton, a tackle out of NC State. He is a massive 6'6", 335 pounds. He may have been a slight reach on some boards at number 54, but he definitely offers a lot of versatility to play tackle or guard, and he definitely addresses the line depth. He started all games in college last year at left tackle. He was dominant in the run game, and he relies on his size, and he definitely relies on and utilizes his size in pass protection. As I mentioned, his main strength is definitely his size. He has great run blocking power and positional flexibility, but he does have his weaknesses like every player does, and that is that he has inconsistent footwork. He needs some technical refinement, but overall, I do like the fit. He definitely bolsters a physical offensive line and supports the run-heavy scheme that the Packers are looking to have, especially in those games in bad conditions. Alright, the next receiver I want to take a dive into is Savion Williams out of TCU. He's 6'4", 220 pounds. He's a versatile weapon. He definitely has a big frame, big enough to be a real deep threat, and Williams had 6 rushing and receiving touchdowns in 2024, but his 5 drops are a concern. He had 321 rushing yards, averaging 6.3 yards per carry, 6 rushing TDs, and 6 receiving TDs, and he was used in the Wildcat formation a lot. His strengths include size, after the catch ability, and multi-role versatility, and then his weaknesses are the drop issues and his unpolished route running. But in terms of his fit, he definitely could complement Golden as a big body target, and he adds red zone and wildcat options and addresses depth with Watson being out for a little bit. I've heard that things are going well with his injury and he's recovering, but still, nobody really knows exactly what's going to happen with that and how soon he's going to be out on the field. Alright, next up, let's talk about Baron Sorrell, the edge rusher out of Texas. This is a cool story and an inspiring one because he stayed in the green room despite not being picked and waiting his turn. So obviously he has that round 1 potential. The draft just didn't go his way this year, but he still is talented, and I think the Packers got him at an absolute insane steal of a price. He's a powerful 6'3", 256 pound rusher, and his 12.5% pressure rate and versatility makes him a rotational fit. He's a strong run defender, a power-based rusher, and some of his strengths include that versatility, his high motor, and his character. He's great inside the locker room, but some of his weaknesses include limited short area quickness, and he needs pass rush variety around him. In terms of his fit though, he should add depth behind Rashawn Gary, and he aligns with Jeff Hafley's 4-3 scheme, and he replaces TJ Slayton's physicality. Alright, now let's talk about Warren Brinson, a defensive tackle out of Georgia. He's a 6'5", 315 pound run stopper. He definitely is run focused, that's what he did his best in college, and he can anchor double teams. He did have minimal pass rushing stats, but still nonetheless, this dude has a lot of upside, especially for where the Packers were able to get him at, but obviously he's not polished and has a lot to work on, and that's just what you're gonna get with players that you draft in the later rounds, but I definitely think he has the upside for this pick to be worth it. He's versatile and has that kind of size that you just can't teach. But as of right now, he's definitely just a depth piece behind Kenny Clark to clog run lanes and support the team in those physical NFC North style matchups. And then for Micah Robinson, the cornerback out of Tulane, he's a 7th round project. He started at Tulane after 4 years at Furman, and he offers physicality and ball skills, but he definitely needs a lot of refinement in his game. And then the last pick I want to talk about is John Williams, a guard out of Cincinnati. He's 6'4" and 322 pounds. He brings size and experience, but he needs time to adjust to the interior. He started all his games last year at left tackle, and he's a power-based run blocker. He definitely offers a lot of size, power, and versatility, but he does have limited quickness, and he's going to face transition challenges. But nonetheless, I think you have to be happy about the picks the Packers made. If you're a Green Bay fan, I think they got a lot of talent with the early picks, and then the project picks have a ton of upside and a ton of room to grow and learn behind the starters. This season really is going to be a dogfight. The NFC North once again is stacked. The Detroit Lions are going to be seeking vengeance after how their season ended. The Minnesota Vikings with JJ McCarthy, they could surprise a lot of people. And then we all know about the Chicago Bears. They have been trending upward over the last few years, and I really think this may be their breakout season. And then the Packers, they've been a good team for a while, so they're going to be looking to repeat that success and do even better in 2025. And I think they have the pieces to do so. But in the NFL, nothing's guaranteed. You have to show up and you have to play hard, and it's hard to continue to have winning seasons. So some of the rookies that the Packers drafted are going to have to step up and make a big impact throughout the season. That's really all I have to say for this video. Let me know what you think about the Packers rookie class. Be sure to drop your grade of the overall draft in the comments below. Over the next few weeks, I'm going to be covering everything going on with this team, with all the camps, training camp. I know rookie camp is done right now, so there's just a ton going on. What I meant to say is I'm going to be covering it all, so make sure to stay tuned, subscribe, and hit that bell notification. Your support truly does mean the world, and until next time, I will see you all later.